Hey, good morning. My name is TC. I'm one of the pastors on the team at Bayside Church. And my wife, Cody, she absolutely loves all the animals. She loves dogs, she loves kitties, she loves dinosaurs and unicorns. Doesn't matter if it's real or not, she loves them all. Which means her job as a vet tech at a veterinary clinic is the perfect fit for her. She loves getting to work with all the patients and tries to bring home every cute kitten that does not have a home. Her job has a lot of perks because she loves animals, but it also has a lot of perks because they eat really well. They're always having these work lunches, even work dinners, ranging from all kinds of food to sushi to even some really fancy places. And every now and then, she brings home leftovers to her hungry husband. I love her job. And one particular night, she came home from this work dinner and she brought this giant piece of delicious chocolate cake. And she looked at me and said these words, "This piece of cake is just for you. I'm not gonna eat a single bite. It is completely yours." Now you need to understand this about my bride. She has a major sweet tooth. It's very rare that a brownie or a piece of cake ever lasts long enough for me to even have a crumb. So for me to have an entire piece of cake all to myself, it was a miracle. This was a once in a lifetime opportunity that I fully intended to savor. So I ate just a quarter of this piece of delicious cake because I knew the next day I was gonna have to work all day long. We had some services planned in the evening. I was gonna be working really late, so the rest of the cake was gonna be my come home treat, my evening snack. So I go to work the next day and I'm working, the day goes by all day long, blah, 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 blah. And right before I go into services that night, I decide I'm gonna FaceTime my wife to make sure that I spend a little bit of time with her in this busy, busy day. So I pull my phone out, I FaceTime her, I'm asking her how her day went and everything. And while she's telling me about work, I notice something. There was this brown smear on the top of her lip, and in the middle of her sentence, I interrupted her. "Did you eat my cake?" This big grin came across her face, and she batted those beautiful eyes and confessed. She had some of the cake, she claimed. I had caught her red-handed, or chocolate-lipped. Have you ever been caught doing something you know you shouldn't have? It's always so embarrassing, so frustrating, so shameful. And it's easy to feel as if that's God's entire goal when it comes to our lives. That He sits up in heaven looking down on us, just waiting to point out our failures and our mistakes. He's this giddy God in anticipation of getting to catch us red-handed. Well, there's a story in Genesis chapter 16 about a woman named Hagar. Hagar was a foreigner in a land that was not her own. She was a slave in a job that she did not choose, and she was having an affair with a married man. Soon Hagar's life begins to crumble as she finds out that she's pregnant. The man she's having an affair with, his wife, begins to hate her and mistreat her, and all this baggage, all this difficulty begins to transform Hagar into somebody full of bitterness and cruelty, and she's hopeless. So as all this is falling apart, Hagar runs away into the wilderness and she's exhausted, she's starving, she's overwhelmed by thirst, and she finds the spring or this well and sits down in the middle of the wilderness all alone in the desert, filled with regret. And then God shows up. Hagar was at rock bottom. God had caught her red-handed. He could have pointed out any of her failures, any of her mistakes, of which her life had many. It seemed that's all she had was limitations. But instead of relishing in her pain, God revealed her purpose. He tells her that this pregnancy, the baby in her womb, was going to be the father of a great nation with descendants so numerous they could never be counted. And Hagar responds to God, this encounter that she has with God for the first time, by naming her relationship with God, by giving God a name personal to her. The Bible says in Genesis 16:13, She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. This is why the well was called Bir Lahairoi. Bir Lahairoi literally means the well of the God who sees me. The God who sees me. God sees you. He sees what you're going through. He sees what you've been through. He sees what's been done to you. He's watching you, but not to catch you red-handed. He sees you. Out of the ocean of faces in the entire world, God sees you. He sees what you need. And He sees a plan that is custom-made, tailor-fit specifically for you. So as you go through your day today, as you get ready for that presentation, that big decision, that test, that conversation that you have to have, that bill that you don't know how to pay, remember, God sees you. He hears you. He knows you. And He has a plan for you.